What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? Greetings from Podcastville. It's Monday. I don't know what the fuck the date is, the 11th, the 12th. Who the fuck cares? It's Monday. The joint is brought to you by Bluechew. Listen, forget the birds and the bees. Here's my lesson on love. Get Bluechew and combat all forms of ED, aka dead dick. Same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis at a fraction of the cost. Bluechew brings you the first chewable dick pill. It tastes pretty good too. This ain't no horny fucking, fucking spider weed from the fucking liquor store from some guy that doesn't even have a GED. This is motherfucking science. Bluechew is an online prescription service. No visits to the doctor, no awkward conversations, no waiting online for the pharmacy. Bluechew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly. It's way cheaper than a pharmacy, so do yourself a favor. They got a special going on for you right now. You know Uncle Joey always shows up with something on a Monday. Try Bluechew for free. Use promo code Joey at checkout. JOEY at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Joey, to receive your first month free. And as always, I want to thank Bluechew for sponsoring the podcast, but I also want you guys to know that this process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, you talk to one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, voila! You'll receive your prescription within days, and you'll be ready to sling dick. Women will be walking out of your bachelor pad limping. You understand me? But it all starts with you. You got to go to BlueChew.com, use promo code Joey to get this party started. Go to BlueChew.com, use promo code Joey to get the party started. Let me ask you guys a question. You guys want a PS5? They're hard to come by. But my friends at CBD Lion have you connected. You understand me? They take care of you over there at CBD Lion. What they're doing is they're running a raffle. It's either $500 of store credit or a PS5. You're going to go with a PS5. So every $10 you spend, you get a ticket. You spend $50, you get 5 tickets. Go to cbdlion.com for details. But before you go there, do me a favor. Listen, when it comes to CBD, there's only one line, and that's cbdlion.com. The best. But you know what? It starts by you going to CBD Lion and reading about CBD, CBN, CBY, and all the benefits they could bring to you, whether it's with the cream, whether it's with the bath ball, whether it's the kinesiology tape, the chocolate, the tinctures. CBD Lion is always there for you. Do yourself a favor. Go to cbdlion.com right now and read. Also, enter the contest. No purchase necessary. You can enter the contest while you're there to win the PS5, but also read about CBN, how it could benefit you, and whatever you're working with, whatever's troubling you, CBD Lion is there for you. But it starts by you going to cbdlion.com right now and registering and reading. Reading is fundamental. Reading is what it's all about. Before you can get CBD Lion to help you, got to read to see how they can help you. So go to cbdlion.com right now, Preston Church or Joey, and get 20% off your order. And they're having a tremendous sale on 420. We'll talk about that some other time. But for right now, go to cbdlion.com right now. And now it's time to get this party started. It's Monday morning. Candles are lit, cocksuckers.
Check 1, 2. Welcome to Uncle Joey's Joint.
What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? It's Monday. I don't know what the fuck the date is. The 12th of fucking April. It's a beautiful motherfucking day to be alive. I hope you guys are doing great. Welcome to the joint. I had a great weekend. I got no fucking complaints. My daughter's softball game Saturday. I was fucking psyched about that. Had some other shit going down, but we'll talk about that later in the week. Knees good, you know, feeling good, healthy, eating good, sleeping good. Finally figured out the fucking sleep thing, you know, ever since Rogan put out that book about sleep years ago. Rogan had a guest on. I've been trying to fucking figure out how to get my best sleep, and I'm finally doing it these days. I feel good. I'm healthy. But all that aside, I want to talk to you guys about something on Mondays. You know, we're in a business, any business that you're in, whether you're a plumber, electrician, a contractor, comedian, an actor, you always go in there, you always have a first day. You know, there's always a first day. You know, for me, for acting, I had basketball and Bronx County, a pilot that you'll never see, that you'll never even heard of on CBS, or my throwaways. You know, those were two projects of mine that were throwaways as an actor. But in any of those fields, what I'm trying to say to you is that you always look at somebody else for, like, to lead you, you know, like, I'm not saying that I want you to be a follower or that I'm a follower or anything like that. But when you first go, I mean, I still remember being a 19-year-old kid and going to Aspen Electric. You know, I had taken an 8-week course in a college, and I didn't know what I was doing. And they put you with another helper, you know, and you kind of look up to them. They're kind of like a mentor for a couple days until you figure out who the cool person is. And there's always a mentor at a job. You always have a mentor. When you work at a restaurant, there's always somebody that you look at and you compare yourself to that person and go, when I get my shit together, I want to be that person, you know. All I am is a bunch of fucking, I don't know if it's imitating is the word or influence. You know, I've been influenced by a lot of people. I have tons of influence because I've let myself be open. A lot of people are like, no, I'm going to do it my fucking way. That's great. Okay. That's great. I appreciate that you want to do your way, and your way is the best. But every once in a while, you have to let yourself get influenced by somebody and go, I'm going to try it that way. I am not by no means an actor. I am not classically trained. Have I ever said I was classically trained? You know, I respect John Bernthal for going to Russia. I respect all that shit. I really do. Me, I'm not classically trained. I went, you know, I was a criminal who got on stage. You know, I couldn't even become a musician because I wouldn't trust myself enough to pawn the fucking guitar or to pawn the bass or to pawn. Thank God you don't have to bring your own microphone in comedy, because I would have pawned my microphone. I would have been up there with fucking, you know, Stings to fucking bullhorns and shit. I would have fucking pawned my shit. So when you get into comedy, you don't need anything. You just need a fucking T-shirt, a pair of pants, some sneakers, and some material to go on stage. So it was pretty easy for me. You know, it was pretty easy. Then you get to LA and they tell you got to act. You know, some people will say, you should act or whatever. And, you know, some people are smart. They take an acting class. I take a class for anything. If I don't know what I'm doing, I'll take a class until I could get out. You know what happened to me with jiu-jitsu? Like jiu-jitsu, for example. Take jiu-jitsu. Do you know what happened to me with jiu-jitsu? How I burnt out on jiu-jitsu? I had too many people coming at me wanting to help me. And that's great. You know, they were coming at me from a great place in their heart, but they didn't understand that I was just a fucking beginner. So I got overwhelmed with all this fucking high level. When I got into jiu-jitsu, everybody wanted to teach me something. Everybody had this type of fucking game, you know, and at the end, I just got so fucking confused. I mean, I'm thinking of going back now. I got no problems with that now once my knee heals up. But what I'm saying is when you're first learning something, you focus on one person, you know. So I moved to Hollywood, and then now they tell you got to fucking act. Or they say to you, do you want to be in this picture or whatever? And you as a comic, you might as well say yes and take every experience, because it all helps at the end of the day. It all goes into the same fucking blender. You mix it up and you whip it back together again. I didn't know that then. But now I know that. But I always wanted to try acting. I was a fan of movies. I was always a big fan of movies, big fan of actors. So when they gave me the call to act, sure, I went down there. I had no fucking idea what I was doing for basketball, and I had no idea what I was doing for Bronx County. But then I got into an acting class, and I had a semi-idea. I still remember getting fucking called in for a pilot. I picked up like 4 episodes on a TV show, and when they would say, stand on your mark, I didn't even know what my mark was. And I was already in L.A. for fucking 3 years. So, I mean, you know, I'm being honest with you guys. So what you need to do is, I read one time that Gene Hackman, I took little pieces of shit that I read about. Like when I got to L.A., I knew I was going to do a lot of mob movies. So I read every fucking mob movie, I read every mob book I could, so I could put backgrounds to the characters I was playing. Like today, I got to put an audition on tape for a movie. You know, I don't know what the fucking guy's name was, but the other night when I was working on the audition, I had to actually write the guy's name out and give him a biography. He went to school in fucking North Carolina, you know, born to a Cuban parents, whatever. I always give that person a life story the moment before. I know all that stuff. And then I learned about going on a set, how to act on a set, how to fucking, you know, behave yourself on a set. Do you stay in your trailer? No, you go on the set and you watch. And you watch older actors. You see the guys that been doing it for a while. You know, whenever I get to a set, I put my shit in my fucking trailer and I fucking I get to the set and I watch them shoot. Even if it's got nothing to do with me. I watch them shoot because I want to see the style they're shooting, how fast they're shooting, if the director's a fucking dick, if he's patient. I'm looking for a lot of things. You know, you're just looking. This is what happens after a few years. Like I said, I didn't want to act, you know. I didn't have the time. Like there was an acting program I thought about going into, but they wanted you to go in there for a year and a half and not take any roles. And then I ended up finding out they were connected to Scientology in one way or another. So I had it rough. I had a fucking, when it came to acting, you know, all those fucking acting classes in L.A., you get something out of them, but they could only take you so far. It's that expression, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't lead him to drink. They take you that far. So now, how do you learn? By going on a set, watching experienced actors, and imitating them, letting them influence you, picking up little things. You know, when I did Spider-Man 2, I picked up little things from Tobey Maguire. When I did Longest Yard, I latched on to Nick Turturro. I knew he was on TV for all those years, and he would talk to me. I also latched on to the quarterback from the Guards, you know, Buffalo Bill, I forget what his last name was. We didn't end up being great friends, but I would ask him different acting questions. Why? Because I don't have an ego, and you have to learn. You have to ask these questions. Nothing wrong with asking questions. I got 20 guys that ask me comedy questions every day on any platform, whether it's fucking Twitter, Patreon, Facebook. They ask me little simple questions about stand-up. If I could answer them, I could answer them. But how do you learn the most if you're trying to get into stand-up? By going to a stand-up club, by working out as a doorman for a few months. Swallow your fucking pride. What's the big difference? And when you go on a set, or you go on a work site, or you go on a construction site, don't be fucking afraid to ask. I'd rather you do it right the first time and learn how to do it right the first time than fuck up. Only a fucking shithead would look at you and go, you don't know what the fuck you're doing? No, come on, let's go. This is easy. I told you 1,000 times. If you could fog the bottom of a glass up, you could take a glass and fog it up. You could basically do fucking anything. It's just, you just not wanting to fucking do it, you know? I mean, listen, I'm not mechanically inclined. I could change a flat oil, forget about it. I'd rather pay the $19. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. By the time I save the $19, I'll have oil in my eyeballs. I'll flood the fucking streets with oil. Squirrels will be dying on the street because the oil will go down the corner. So I let that shit for the professionals. But my point is, when I go on a set, I always look at other people. So whether you're in construction, whether you're in a plumber, a welder, whatever, you're always trying to learn. You go, you look at somebody who's doing it, how you like to be done, and you emulate that person, imitate that person, get influenced by that person. I'm not, I'm not telling you to steal their aura, but I'm just telling you to look at that person and go, maybe I'll try it that way. He's a winner for a reason. He's in 20 movies and I'm in 3 movies for a reason. So let me go pay attention to him. He's the foreman of this job for a fucking reason. He's the, a master electrician for a reason. Let me go talk to this guy. Never be ashamed to fucking ask for help. Anyway, with that being said, my guest today is Alessandro Nivolo. Let me explain something to you about this guy. I loved him. I worked with him on The Many Saints in Newark. I had never met with him before. I can't tell you how intimidating it is, even for a guy like me, to walk into the table read of The Many Saints in Newark. It's intimidating, guys. I could tell you, oh yeah, I got this. No, it's not. You shit your pants. You're walking into the unknown. If I walk into a room to do a meeting and I see like Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle and Rogan and fucking a bunch of guys in there, I'm gonna shit my pants because I'm hanging out with the best of the fucking best. When I got on the Sopranos set, I didn't know a lot of these guys, but I know David Chase don't fuck around, and I know the actors he had were worth their fucking weight in gold. So again, I went on the set and I watched some people fucking do their thing. John Bernthal had my back in Grudge Match. In Grudge Match, when I went to Grudge Match, what do you think? I hang out with LL Cool J? When do I find, when do I rap? Yeah. Yeah, when do I find time? Yeah, that was me with Sylvester Stallone on the boat. No, it wasn't. Oh, you hang out with De Niro. No, I didn't know nobody on that set. I went down there, sight unseen, going into the unknown, not knowing. I knew the director, Peter Siegel, and I fucking looked at John Bernthal for help. If you look at that movie, I played John Bernthal's like fucking nemesis. Robert De Niro chases me out of there. But I looked at John Bernthal now again in Many Saints in Newark. I had John Bernthal there for support, but I asked him questions, as many questions as I could. But I also looked at Alessandro, and he took me under his wing and did a great job. So, from the Many Saints in Newark, and my buddy, here's a little fucking short chat with Alessandro Nivolo from the Many Saints in Newark. I hope you enjoy it. What's happening, beautiful?
What's up, my man?
How are you, buddy?
Better for seeing you.
Holy shit, you look beautiful. You look fucking handsome as fuck. What's going on?
Just like a year of not stepping foot outside and, not seeing the sun is obviously good for the complexion.
Yeah, you look great, man. And you're in New York City. Fucking fun.
I'm here in Brooklyn, at home. My kid just got a new puppy, which yaps and pisses all over the floor. And my wife is going on a spa retreat with her best friend and leaving me to pick up the mess.
That's how it usually fucking works out, man. Last time we spoke, you were fucking going through Rome to get through Australia, to get your son a fucking SAT test.
I'm telling you, I never traveled more than I traveled during COVID.
Unbelievable. Your wife was shooting a show in the UK. I mean, you were like fucking mad dogging it, and now you're
totally weird. I mean, I wasn't doing shit except waiting for our movie to finish up. And but she, like, nobody profited more from COVID than, apart from Jeff Bezos than my wife, who like made her directorial debut, and they said she was like 2 weeks away from starting shooting when on March 13th, which was like our first day of the added filming that we were doing, and we got shut down, and they were like saying she wasn't going to get shut down at all, and this was like panic time. Everybody was freaking out, and I called up the producers and I was like, what's going on here? My wife is not flying back to England now. Like, nobody's getting on a plane. And they were like, oh, it'll be a couple of weeks. We'll shut down and then it'll be fine. Just carry on. And so I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. Like, do you know what's going on here? It was all this stiff upper lip, keep calm and carry on stuff. And So sure enough, they shut down. But then, like 3 weeks later, they were up and running again. They were like the only other movies that were shooting were like something in Iceland and something in New Zealand or whatever. And she was like the first thing back. And they threw us all back on a plane, like in hazmat suits and whatnot, and off we went. And yeah, then the Italy trip, you know, my kid was trying to take his damn SATs, and there was no place to take him anywhere in Europe except in Rome. There was like one school that was open there, and so we were like, "Fuck it, should we just go down there and do it there?" And we flew down together, and he took his SATs in some suburban Italian high school with a bunch of Italian kids in this like school with no air conditioning in the middle of August.
You were very nice to me on the set. Like looked at you at the table read for the Many Saints. When I walked in, I was as intimidated as fuck. And your warm smile, just fucking that, and the prosciutto little fucking breads that they had, the prosciutto with the fucking bread on it and stuff. It was right behind me. I'll never forget at the table read. I was like, oh my God, I'm fucking starving. And I couldn't walk away from the table read because those things were right fucking behind me. Next thing you know, we finished the table read, people are clapping. I turn around to go get like two of them. I come back and my script is gone. I go, what the fuck just happened? They just clipped the script. Somebody just came along and took the fucking script, and that was the end of it. I never saw the script again.
You see, I never understand that. Like, that's such a thing now. I mean, I think it always has been with David, from what I know about the Sopranos shoot, that, like, I don't know, I heard rumors that he had, like, actually shot some scenes in certain episodes that didn't really exist, just to like put people off the scent of what was happening or whatever. And you know, I more and more I get sent like movie offers or, you know, meetings to have with directors or whatever, where they just like say like you can't read it. And I just don't I don't get it. Like, I don't know why people are so scared of their script being read. Who cares? I mean, do you understand it? Like, who cares? Like, you know, the movie's going to be what the movie's going to be. There's going to be good or it'll suck. But like, what somebody thinks of the script doesn't really have any impact on it at all, as far as I can tell. But people are like just so secretive about it now and so guarded about it. You sign 100 NDAs and the thing like explodes in your face, like, you know, an hour after you get sent it. And I mean, it's like CIA stuff. I don't understand what's going on.
The first time I ran into it was really with Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
With Spider-Man 2, they sent you sheets that were coded.
Yeah.
And you had to hand them in at the fucking day of the shoot. I mean, but that was Raimi's process. I only had one line. It didn't fucking matter to me. The line wasn't going to change. But I started seeing that then, that people were very secretive with scripts, you know. I understand David's process. How did you even come into this fucking world? How did you even come into this David's world?
You know, like
for the Many Saints,
the most old-fashioned way. I got sent the script by my agents, and they said, "Do you want to audition for this thing?" And you know, I guess like by the time I was auditioning for it, there was a kind of like pared down field of candidates, and so like I don't think at that point I was, you know, one of a million. It was like, you know, they had a group of 10 guys, or I don't know how, you know, bunch of guys. And I just did a videotape at home and I sent it in, and then you know, it was a really long process after that. A lot of waiting around to just sort of see what was going to happen. And, you know, eventually I heard he wanted to meet me, and David and Alan Taylor took me out to lunch, and we had lunch one afternoon, and we, you know, we got along great. I mean, this was like the first time that I'd done where I like had a job opportunity that, where like having the name that I have that nobody can say and everything was an asset.
Alessandro Nivola?
Yeah. I mean, like this thing, I've spent my whole life having to spell it 100 fucking times, having to repeat it, having to say there's an O at the end, not an A, having to say there's two S's, not a J, having to say there is not an X. It's like, I mean, people can't get it. And it's a weird, even like among Italian American names, like it's not that common. Like, I don't know if it's like a more northern name. I mean, my grandfather was from Sardinia, and which is the island under Corsica, the other island, not Sicily. And there's a lot, there's a lot of Alessandros there, and that is not like a northern place. It's a very working class part of Italy, except for this one little coast where all the Russian billionaires park their yachts. But like where my grandfather's from is in this little village in the mountains in the middle of the island, and there's nothing there except like a bunch of shepherds and stonemasons. And there's a lot of Alessandros there. But I guess like when the big kind of wave of immigration came, there weren't that many northern Italians, and there weren't that many Sardinians. They were mostly southern Italians. Maybe Alessandro isn't like a big southern name, but like you don't really hear it that much. And so I've just like, it's just not familiar to people who aren't Italian. And it's confused people all my life, like in terms of like, for a long time when I was starting out as an actor, people were like, is he, foreign? Is he European? Is he South American? Is he English? Where the fuck is this guy from? Why can't I say his name? And, there came a point where I was like, God, did I just really blow it? Like not changing this thing and like making it some one syllable number, you know what I mean? And then like finally this thing came along, and it was like the first time where I felt like being called Alessandro like put me in like a secret society of like people that David Chase like felt some affinity to just before I'd even met him. And it really mattered to him that the person playing this part like had Italian provenance and knew came from whatever immigrant parents and stuff. And so we just immediately had so much to talk about because of that. And and then all through the whole shoot, like it was just the first time that I really got to like play a role that drew on my like family history and my personal history. Most of my career up till now, like that has not been the way that I've been cast. So
Now I heard you're Italian. It's fucking beautiful. Like I
getting
grew up
better.
when
It's
I
getting
moved to
better.
Jersey. I was surrounded with Sicilians, so I understood it because I speak Spanish. I could pick up a word or two.
Yeah, no, there's
When
a ton
you were
of
talking,
similarities.
when you were talking to the Italian actress,
Yeah,
I was a
Michaela.
little lost. Your Italian was book Italian, like the Italian you learn at school, which I took and failed. Mr. Parmesano, you know what I'm saying? I took and failed it. All I remember is I fucking even forget. Not buongiorno, buongiorno, senor professor. That's all I fucking remember. He
Sounds
was a
pretty good.
fucking nut.
That's about
Yeah,
all you need.
and
Well,
then
I
you
didn't,
learned like,
I didn't speak it as a kid. Like my dad never. See, when my dad was growing up, his first language was Italian, and he learned English in school. But by the time like he was like in his teens and early 20s, he was like trying so hard to be Americanized, and he was kind of like, trying not to be this foreign guy. And so when I was young, like he had really kind of like, he never spoke Italian to me. He spoke Italian to his parents when he didn't want me to know what he was saying. And it wasn't until I was a teenager and I started going to visit my extended family over in Sardinia. And I have like hundreds of cousins in this one town where my grandfather's from. And none of them speak a word of English, not one word, like not even hello, like nothing. And so I started going there every summer and just palling around with them. And like literally this town is everybody there is my cousin, to the point where like you'd be walking down the street with like my I had this one cousin, Aaliyah, who was my age, and he and I were really close, and we were walking down the street one day and I saw this really pretty girl and I nudged him or whatever and say, "Che bella ragazza," huh? And he goes, "No, cugina." She's your fucking cousin.
So everybody's your cousin in the neighborhood.
Fucking one there. But so it was around that time that I started to like actually teach myself out of a book. And I like learned grammar just out of a book that I bought, and then going and visiting my cousins and stuff. And that's kind of like how I learned what I have. You know, it's not great, like it's all right.
Now you went to fucking Yale.
That's right.
What did you major in? What is your degree in?
English, which is like the soft degree.
You went to fucking
Yale.
Yale.
The one you don't have to show up to class for.
And how did acting come in?
Well, I had wanted to be an actor way before then, like from a really, really early age. And I think from like third grade or something. And I started going, and, you know, I didn't have anybody in my family that were actors or anything, but I asked my mom to start sending me to like summer drama schools and all that stuff. And I really had the most old-fashioned career that you could conceive of. Like, you know, I went to like summer drama camps, and then I started interning as a teenager at this summer like theater festival in Connecticut, where they would like do readings of new plays. And a lot of the like big playwrights at that time, like John Guare and John Patrick Shanley and August Wilson, and people all like workshop their plays there over the summers. And they would get like amazing actors. Like in years before I was there, like Meryl Streep would be there, and Sam Jackson, and, you know, a ton of like people who went on to become big stars and stuff. But at the time I was just like literally like doing odd jobs and, you know, getting drunk and you know, getting up to no good, and just like building sets and cutting, splicing sound tape and that kind of shit. And then I did that for like 5 straight summers. And the last summer I was there, they like invited me to be part of the company and do a couple of like young roles in plays that they were developing there. And that was like my first professional start. And then I went on to like do like regional theater stuff around the country, and I did plays in Seattle and Philly, and, you know, just all over the US for the last 2 years that I was in college. And then when I finally got out, I was in New York for in the first year I was in New York, I got cast on Broadway opposite Helen Mirren in this Turgenev play. And, you know, it was her and F. Murray Abraham. And that was like, you know, I was off and running then, just a year out of college. But I had like, it had been years of like, even at that point already, it had been years of like doing, you know, stuff in the regional theater, little theaters all over.
And so you learned from the fucking inside out. I mean,
well, I mean, I guess it was like my career is like, by that time, a lot, you know, most people who were going to be in movies were just like in movies. Like they weren't sort of dicking around in like fucking regional theater and bumfuck wherever. They were like, heading straight to Hollywood to make it happen. And that wasn't really my ambition at the time. I really kind of like wanted to be a stage actor. And it wasn't until when I was doing that play on Broadway, there were all these other young guys, Jude Law, Billy Crudup, Damian Lewis, Rufus Sewell. Like there was a whole bunch of guys who were all doing Broadway plays at the same year that I was. And we were all like going out all night and, getting up to, mischief until the sun came up every day, and then sleeping all day, and then going and doing these plays. And then we'd meet up right after the play and start it all over again. And we did that for like 6 months. And then one by one, each one of them like started going off to do these movies. And I was sort of like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Like everybody's going off to make these movies. And I was abandoned. And I suddenly felt jealous and like I'd been kind of left behind, and that maybe like my ambitions were in the wrong place. And that was when I kind of sort of like woke up a little bit and was like, I think maybe there's like a whole other world for me, that I hadn't ever really conceived of for myself. And that was when I headed out to do Face Off. That was my first movie.
Travolta Face Off?
Yeah.
Wow. It's crazy how you did. Listen, people go to Hollywood, they join a fucking acting class, they expect the best, they get a couple short films, they go to festivals, whatever, and then they fizzle out, I admire the guys like you that you did what a comedian does. You did an open mic for fucking 5 years. It's like before, this is my 30th year doing comedy. But what I don't tell people is the first 4 months of me doing comedy, I cleaned bathrooms, I fucking lit the stage, I swept the front, I fucking did the sound, I was the doorman, I had a fucking, I learned it from the inside out. I asked questions. I kept my mouth shut and I asked questions. So before I got on stage, I was a pussy. I'm not gonna lie to you. It took me fucking, 5 months of, this internal conflict. And then you start to do these things. And then, I was telling my wife the other day, I saw this whole fucking country. I performed in every state except fucking Hawaii. Wow. Like I scored coke in South Dakota. That's my biggest accomplishment. That should be on my resume. That I made eye contact with a Mexican waiter in fucking South Dakota, Snake Pit, South Dakota, and I got coke in fucking South Dakota. I mean, I've been everywhere. Like through comedy, this is what you need to do.
It's interesting. It really is like, comedy is now the kind of closest thing to, that kind of like starting your career through theater, through live performance. Because most people in movies now, because television is so pervasive everywhere, and there's so many like little television jobs that you can start with that like most people just start that way. They just start on camera. But like the live thing is like, it really, it's like a dunk in an ice bath,
Live theater to me has to be, it's one of my biggest fears. And I'm not scared as shit when it comes to, I did General Hospital. You know what I'm saying? That's fast. You ever do a soap opera? They don't fuck around. They don't even talk to you. They don't even look at you. They just tell you, sit in your fucking room until your number comes up. You go out there. You think you never did a soap opera yet? Have you ever done a soap opera?
I did do one. I think I can't remember. It might have been Guiding Light. It was in New York in like, it must have been like 1994. I'm thinking. I think it was like, that was the first, like the first time I'd ever been on camera was one day on that. I called up my agent. I was like, I can't pay my rent. Like, what am I going to do? And he was like, I might have something for you. The next thing I knew, I was like waiting for my number to come up in my dressing room.
Oh my God, they didn't even talk to me. Like I got there, you gave them the license. They told you to go to room 22. Your wardrobe was there. There wasn't an AD, nothing. Nothing. I fucking sat there in
Yeah.
my room. All of a sudden, they go, scene 22, come out. They do one rehearsal, and you go, and
Yeah.
let's say you fuck up your line, they're like, you're not going to start again. You're going to start right from where that line is. And boom,
Yeah.
boom, a bell goes off, and you move on. You're out. It's
Yeah.
9 to 5. I wish I would have known that. I would have gotten a fucking soap opera job.
It's
Too bad I'm a fat
it's kind
fuck.
of amazing. Like it's got its whole it's a whole world unto itself. It's like the porn industry. Like there are these like stars in the in that world, and they rule those sets. You know what I mean? They've been there for like 20 fucking years doing those shows. And it's like their living room or whatever, and they just like own the place. And like some of them like you might never have heard of.
One of the most exciting things one of the things I was excited about the most about moving back to New York, and I'm still very excited about this. I got vaccinated, and I'm excited because I want to go start seeing small time plays.
Yeah.
Off-Broadway plays. That's where you see the nuts and bolts of acting. That I got to see a few times in L.A., but L.A. has no fucking theater. They really don't. They can't resist because they really want to be movie stars.
Yeah.
Like once this clears up a little bit, my friend's sister works as works for a theater production. And 1 month you fucking wash toilets. 1 month you run the lights. 1 month you're the plumber in the play. 1 month you sell tickets. And it's a good thing because it'll teach me from the inside. I don't care that I'm 58. I'm not looking to be a movie star. But it's something just to do, 2 nights a week to replace comedy. Just to fucking, I would love to do something like that.
Well, I think it's all going to come roaring back. That's my guess. I think it's all going to come back soon because people are just dying to, have communal experiences. And but you're right. It's those little theaters where some, in New York at least, where you see a lot of the good stuff. Because the thing about Broadway now is it's just like it's gone the same way that the film industry has gone, where like everything is just these huge spectacles, and so like most of the plays are like big musicals and things there, and so the stuff that has more ambition for just like straight plays it's all off Broadway.
So yeah, I want to see bare bones shit.
Yeah,
I want to see the bare bones shit.
Yeah, well, we'll go together. Let's do it.
You
it's
go
so
to a lot
scary,
of those?
though. I mean, I try to do a play every few years, but like the last one, I just got like I found myself at times just like sitting in my dressing room with my hands just going like that before the show every night. It's like it really like it's hard on the heart, like it really is stressful.
I've shot pilots in front of live audiences, and I've done okay. It's something to, you look at it, you absorb it, and you go, wow, it's a complete different fucking thing. I think the thing that blew my mind the most was about 2 years ago. There was this hot Hollywood show on Monday nights. A comic, an actor, anybody could go up on stage with a band. You did 15 minutes of material, 10 minutes of material, and then you had to sing a song. Alessandro, I went up there, no problem with the comedy, no problem. Pop, 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 pop.
What'd you sing?
The one by Rage Against the Machine, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me, whatever. So it's so funny because what you're supposed to do is say thank you, turn around, and then they start the music and you face the audience and you start singing, Yeah. Let me tell you something. I turned around, the band started playing. When I looked back at the audience, singing and doing comedy is two different fucking worlds. Do you understand me? Two different fucking worlds. I turned around and I could feel the turd, like a half inch just came out of my ass. I was like, what did I get myself into? And now I got to sing this fucking song. It was just so, it's a different energy, and I thought about, like when I left there that night, I was like, that was fucking mind-boggling. I got anxiety, and I thought about live theater. I thought about the Honeymooners. you know, Ricky Ricardo. Those motherfuckers used to do those shows in front of live audiences. I can't even fucking, it's too much.
Well, yeah, it's like
It's
those
too
improv
much.
guys, like Upright Citizens Brigade and stuff, who do those,
Yes.
improv shows with live audiences every night. I mean, I think it's like, I'm sure you feel this with stand up, like it's like a muscle. So, once you get into the rhythm of doing it night after night, the whole thing just becomes like almost like muscle memory, and you relax into it or whatever. But I still found it like really sphincter clenching, and I was sitting, I was doing this play with Bradley Cooper, The Elephant Man. And we had done this play a lot. Like we did it up at Williamstown for a summer, and then they moved it to Broadway 2 years later, and then we moved it to London. So like all in, we did this play for like a year, and I was still just like shitting myself. Before each show, I'd go and have like diarrhea before I'd go on every night. And he would come in, we shared a dressing room, and he would come in just like, I mean, 8 shows a week, like, and if you have to do something emotional in the thing or whatever, you're just like, you come into the fucking theater and like, you're just staring at yourself in your dressing room mirror, and you're just like, oh my God, I can't believe I got to do this again. Why am I doing this? And he would come in like fucking Tigger, just like so jacked and ready to go. And he'd be like, bro, do you realize how fucking lucky we are? Do you realize how fucking lucky we are to get out there and do this? And I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking strangle you, man, because like I don't want to do it tonight at all. I just don't want to do it, And then like we get out there, and he was really kind of amazing because the guy has got so much energy, and every night, like he would sort of, we'd make it a little bit different every night, and he would like drag me, onto the stage, and we would like, make it alive again or whatever. And then like you bow and you have like a moment of just like the greatest like feeling of relief that you could imagine. Like you just had the biggest dump of your life. And then like about an hour later, it starts in again. Like, I got to do this again.
So you would do 2 shows a night?
Tomorrow,
Would you do 2 a night?
2 in a day. We do like on Wednesdays and Saturdays, you do like
A matinee or something.
2 o'clock, and then
Right.
then you go like have a nap, and then you'd go and do it again at 7 or 8 or whatever.
When I got into stand-up, see, it's changed now. Stand-up is now a Thursday, Friday, Saturday thing.
Yeah.
But when I got into stand-up, it was Tuesday through Sunday. Alessandro, by Friday night, you were ready to put a gun in your mouth. Because you had already done Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You had already done 5 shows. You had 3 more on Saturday and 1 more on Sunday.
Yeah.
The second show, you're on stage, and you don't remember if you sang this joke already or you didn't. You don't know if this is the first show or the second show. And forget the fucking third show. Like somebody was telling me they're going to for Florida. There's a club that does 3 shows mandatory. I'm like, they'll never see my Cuban ass because those 3 show nights fucking ended for me a long time ago. That's a nightmare. You don't remember what you said. So the third show, you're up there just floating going, I might as well improvise because I don't know if I said this already tonight and how I said this. It's such a fucking lesson when you, listen, no matter, when you don't want to, like right now I don't want to perform because of COVID and what's going on. Like I've got my own personal reasons of why. But when I was getting into comedy, it didn't fucking matter how I felt. I had to get up there. And you go through this fucking, when in the beginning, when you're doing comedy, you're basically just getting shit on every night. People tell you suck. People don't talk to you. People make no eye contact with you. It's a constant thickening of the skin. It's constant. It's a fucking beating.
Yeah.
So and back then, like, I had no choice. My goal was 30 sets a month. That's one spot a night. That was my minimum.
Do you feel as you get older, like that you still profit from, just standing up and like having like arrows thrown at you? Like, do you feel like you still, I don't know, somehow benefit from that? Or do you feel like, you know what, like, I just don't want to like put myself in the line of fire that way, in the same way as when I was younger?
What good is life if you're not getting arrows thrown at you? Can you imagine just living life with no arrows thrown at you? It would be a fucking boring fucking thing, because I can't react. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I like arrows thrown at me. It makes my fucking dick hard. I love doing podcasts. I like doing good podcasts. I like doing bad podcasts. I like doing them all to get a reaction, but you're doing. And that's what people don't understand. You're not a potential energy, you're kinetic energy, whatever the fuck. Don't confuse me, I'm stupid. But you're actually doing it. So I don't give a fuck if you want to throw arrows at me. I got to keep doing what I'm doing. And the goal is to deflect those arrows.
Yeah.
For 15 years, you actually let them hit you.
You feel like your, stand-up style has changed a lot over the years? Like, have you, either like consciously or unconsciously evolved as a stand-up?
Abso-fucking-lutely. Because when I started out as a joke teller. And when you're a joke teller, it's great. You're funny, people love you, there's a certain connection. But then I evolved into storytelling, kind of, sort of, and reflecting from my life and putting on stage, and that's a deeper connection. Letting people, I never wanted the audience to think I was above them. I wanted to tell the audience, guess what? I shit in my pants the other day driving on the Jersey Turnpike because I couldn't make it to the bathroom. I'm just like you. I have flaws just like you. I can't go to New York. You know why? Because I know I got to stop and piss 18 times. Especially when I go to the gym. I drink the protein drink before, the 92 ounces of water during, and then the little protein drink afterward. I get in the car, I got to pee every 8 fucking minutes. I got to pull over at every fucking rest stop in New Jersey every fucking 8 minutes. Put my mask on, piss, and you can't piss outside. A cop catches you. Next thing you know, you're not allowed at kid plays no more because you decide to take a piss at the side of the park, and you didn't know that. I didn't even know that. A friend of mine got caught taking a piss at the park. He got to register as a sex offender. You need that shit. You need that shit. A 58-year-old guy. So now,
was there somebody that was like comedy style changing at that time and you changed with it? Or like, was there one person that you saw who was kind of like finding this kind of elliptical way of, storytelling that was bringing a joke around and having a bigger payoff at the end or whatever that like got you fired up? Or like, what was it that started you, morphing into this other type of comic?
I had a dear friend that I loved with all my heart. He's a comedian. He's not doing comedy anymore, but he was very funny. He was a very one-liner type of guy. And he got a special one time, like a spot on a special with other comics.
Yeah.
And I wanted to support him, so I put the special on, and I was watching it, but all of a sudden I had to take a shit. I had to go to the bathroom so bad, and I'm waiting to see this guy, but I got a shit. I'm starting to get anxiety. So sure enough, I get up to go to the bathroom. My girlfriend wasn't home at the time, so I left the bathroom door open so I could listen to him on stage. And when you watch comedy and when you listen to comedy, it's two different worlds. There's people that watch this podcast on YouTube, and there's people that listen to it on the drive home. It's two different fucking experiences. So when I heard him doing those one-liners, I was like, this is fucking horrible. I never told him that. We're still dear friends, and he's selling real estate in fucking Florida or whatever.
This is going to be a story about the guy who inspired you.
It did inspire me because I realized I was up there chucking and
like,
jiving.
Whatever I do, I don't want to be like this guy.
No, I wasn't connecting with you.
Yeah.
So I want to connect with you. I want to let you know that I put my pants on one leg at a time just like you. That's the most important thing in my game. I want to know that, you know what? Guess what? I shit my pants 2 weeks ago. Guess what? I fell off the bed. Guess what? I fell off my bike. Yeah. You know, I never wanted to talk down to the audience or sound swarmy.
So it also got like really confessional.
Right. So I got really like, fucking tell him a story. Take him to that place. Yeah. I love when I make him cry. If you make him laugh, you got to make him cry. So sometimes you got to make him cry too. Yeah. So these are all the lessons that you just learn in 30 fucking years. Like you've been doing it now for how long? How long has this scam been going on for? So
I guess like my first real professional gig would have been 1991 or something. So
30 fucking years, my friend. Yeah. And that's why I fell in love with you. I would watch, like when I got on that set, I had been in, I've been in a ton of movies, but this for me was sacred. When I got the call to be in the Many Saints in Newark, everything had to change for me. Like I knew I had to change everything. I prepared. I did everything I could. I flew to New York. I did the table read with you guys. Great time. Then we went back and we shot. The first day I was very intimidated. If you remember, I was improvising a lot. I was fucking around.
What was our first day? Was that Satriali's? What was it?
I think we were doing the back end of a scene, and it was just you and me in a room, and you had to do something. We won't discuss it, but I remember that I was watching you, and I was like, "This is fucking tremendous." It's like watching Christopher Walken. Have you ever seen Christopher Walken do a set?
I played Christopher Walken's son in a road picture. I'm going to show you a picture. And we spent, I'll tell you a little story about him. We spent, I guess, like 2 months doing this movie about a father and son who like take this road trip together. And he, there's us.
Wow. How long ago was that?
That was like, I want to say like 8 years ago or something. So we're filming in Albuquerque. And, we spent so much time in this fucking car together that like on our days off, like it didn't even occur to me that I was going to call the guy up and say like, hey, you want to get a drink or whatever? Because like we'd seen just too much of each other. And so I was just wandering around Albuquerque on my day off, and I look across the street and I see this guy, and it's him, and he's in this like floor-length black trench coat, and his hair is like standing straight up, and he's wandering around like a zombie, just like looks so depressed and confused. And so we come in the next day to work, and I'm like, hey man, listen, I don't want you to think I'm like following you around or anything, but I was in town yesterday and I saw you walking around, and I got to say, like, you didn't look that happy. Like, everything all right? How you doing? And he says, Albuquerque, they're not my people. And and so I'm like, I can see how there's a mismatch there. And so then like about 3 weeks later, we end up filming in Atlantic City, which was the end of the shoot. And the minute we get to AC, he's just like lights up, like transforms. He's bounding around on the balls of his feet. He's recounting me all these stories about being on the boardwalk as a kid with his dad and getting in fights and stuff. And we're like doing this one scene driving through town, and the car, it's like, this was still when we were using real film, and they had to change out the mag on the mount on the car. And we pull over to the side of the road, and they're changing the mag, and we get out to stretch, and we look across the street, and there's like the longest line of zombie looking people you have ever seen. Like, it looked like Michael Jackson's Thriller or something. And it became clear there was a methadone clinic there, and like everybody was there to get their fix that morning. And suddenly one guy looks up and looks across the street and sees Chris, and he's like, "Hey, it's the King of New York!" And like suddenly, like all these ghouls like turn and look at us, and everybody starts freaking out, and they start coming across the street, towards us, like, coming at us, and they're coming at us, and they swarm around all of us, and it's like they're all like just like pawing at our clothes and stuff, and they come up and they're all around him and touching him and stuff and grabbing at his face and everything, and he's a really tall guy, and he's towering over them, and he looks at me across the car and he says, "These are my people."
I never met him. I met his wife.
Yeah.
When I read The Sopranos the first time.
Yeah.
I was waiting for her at 11 o'clock with her, like in 2000 maybe.
Yeah.
Her assistant seen me at Caroline's.
Yeah.
And I'm outside in the street, and she comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, I'm casting this show you might be good for. Why don't you go upstairs and leave your name and number?" I go, "Georgianne, I'm here 11 o'clock. So she's like, "Come on, walk in with me." So we walked in, we got on the elevator, and I go, "I got to ask you a question. Is it true that Christopher Walken is your husband?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I go, "I got to tell you something else. His best movie's at close range." And she fucking lit up. She goes, "You're right. I always say that also."
Wow.
And that was it. I went and I auditioned. I didn't get the role. So what the fuck you want from me? You know what I'm saying? You try to butter him up, you get fingered in the ass.
All the Sopranos?
What happened?
Did she cast all the episodes?
I think so. Georgine and had a partner who was also a sweetheart in L.A. She took care of me. She put me in something. And then she like tried to get me into like couple Travolta movies, the sequel to Get Shorty. Yeah, because it was Walken something casting.
Yeah.
So Georgine was in New York, and her partner was in L.A., who was a great lady to me.
Yeah.
So I got no fucking complaints. Before we get the fuck out of here, I've taken enough of your time. Before you got this movie, were you a fan of the show?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You watched the show and was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, I mean, I just felt the way that I think everybody felt, which was that it just, especially when it started, it just felt so different than everything else on TV, and it still does. Like, to me, like I feel like everything else is kind of imitating it. You know what I mean? The way that television evolved to try and kind of tell stories the way that did. But Imperioli was always like, in a way, the guy I most admired on the show. And so it was cool that I was going to be playing his dad.
And you fucking did a great job. For me, dog, this is how I felt. I went in there, and that first day with you, we had a great time. We were giggling about something. I knew you weren't like, an LA actor. I was like, oh, thank God this guy's not, I had you and John to fucking guide me through this thing. And I check in with you from time to time, and I check in with John, and it's because you guys helped me through this. I didn't get David Chase's style of shooting till the second day, and then I was off and running. My first day, I was a little like improvising and shit, and then somebody came over, and somebody whispered a little something in my ear, and I was like, I get it. That's it. And then I got the magic, who was David Chase.
Yeah.
Like, then I was like, oh, fuck. I get what this guy's trying to do. And you want me to tell you something? It helped my comedy.
Interesting.
Because I remembered lesson number 1 of comedy. Let the joke settle and hit. I have a mistake all comedians do, because we get excited. We got to laugh, so we step on our own lines.
Yeah.
David Chase don't step on his fucking lines.
Yeah.
He gives you a line, and it goes, and it goes, and it goes, and it resonates.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned from David Chase.
Yeah.
I told a couple people this, and I don't need to blow smoke up his ass. You know, I love him to death. To me, I don't need to do another movie. I'm done. If I don't do another movie after this, regardless of what it does in the box office, whatever, just me being from Jersey, being Cuban, being from fucking North Bergen, and being able to be in a Many Saints in Newark, it has been such an honor to me. And to meet you guys and to see how professional you guys were, and Alan King. You know, I'm a fucking dirty comic. You're a real deal motherfucking actor, Alessandro. So,
well, I'll tell you what, you know, it may have come as a surprise to you that you had to say your fucking lines or whatever and not make the shit up, but it sure sounded improvised to me in the best possible way, which is really, you know, what the whole point of it is to kind of find that spontaneity. And you know, you just have such a kind of effortless authenticity in it, and it's like a major grounding force in the movie, you know.
Well, thank you. I think the best night we had, and I want to tell this story, is the night that we had one more scene to shoot. It's got to be 4 in the fucking morning. We've been there all day, and it's you, and all of a sudden they wrap me. Do you remember that night they wrapped me? I go back to the room, I'm like, fuck, 12 hours, my feet hurt. I'm going to smoke the fucking biggest joint in the world and call Uber. I smoked the joint that had to be 2 feet fucking long. I ate an edible. I did a fucking Toots Roots. And all of a sudden, I'm waiting for the fucking Uber on the corner of Brooklyn at 4 in the morning. I'm waiting not to get mugged. There's these dudes walking towards me. I'm like, I'm going to get fucking mugged. And all of a sudden, I see the girl from the thing come up to me. She's like, I really hate to tell you this. She goes, they unwrapped you. You got to put your suit on and go back. And I'm like, you're not fucking serious. You're not fucking serious. It's 4 in the morning. And I wasn't tired or anything. I was just, you know, and I remember giggling while I put the suit on. And I walk in and you're there. My boy from Hamilton is there. And all of a sudden, Alan King goes, I'm sorry. And I go, you're sorry. Let me tell you something. This is the most unprofessional fucking thing that's ever been done for me. Not even on your part, on my part too. I'm stoned to the fucking gills, and you called me back at 4 in the fucking morning. This is the most, and we fucking died. Him, the fucking Arab camera dude was a pisser. The guy that I used to call Syria, whatever the fuck is that. So when am I gonna see you, buddy? You're around?
Yeah, let's do it soon. I'm here definitely for the next little while. My kids, unbelievably, have been cast in this huge movie, and which had nothing to do with us. It came through their school, and next thing I know, they're filming in Ohio all summer long, and my wife and I have to tag team chaperoning these kids all summer now. Well, they eclipse both of our careers. It's all over, man. It's all over.
But we'll be back.
But that don't start till June. So I'm here before then. We gotta get together before then.
Okay, and then we got the big premiere September 24th. Finally, the movie comes out.
Let's see how they do it. I don't know if we'll go to some festivals and stuff, or I don't know. We'll see. I'm waiting to hear how they're gonna roll it out. But
like
yeah,
I said,
we gotta see you way before that.
Okay, yeah, I'll come into the city. We'll do some lunch or something like that.
Award.
What's that?
Yeah.
You got the.
No, I'm saying that's
award.
a lifetime away. That's a lifetime away. We need to catch up long before that.
Oh no, I'll see you in a few weeks. Let this vaccination get in me. I think I'll be.
Yeah,
ready
I just had my second one 2 days ago myself.
Yeah, I did mine Monday. I did my one, and I went to the gym today. Yeah. I went to the gym yesterday too, so I don't know. I don't know if it.
Wait, you just got your first one?
No, I got a Johnson & Johnson one-shot deal.
Oh, you got one and
with
done.
The Cubans.
Oh.
Yeah, I was up with the Cubans. I couldn't,
So what? Are there no side effects on that one?
Not so far. You know, I feel
my head's kind of throbbing, but that's about
I
it.
had the beginnings of a headache, but I took 2 fucking whatever Tylenol,
Yeah,
and I was tip top
good to
magoo.
go.
Alessandro,
Good to go.
thank you for taking care of me on the set. Thank you for being a big brother and for taking me under your wing and for making me feel like a real actor instead of a fucking jamoke.
Hey,
I love you,
likewise,
cocksucker.
man.
Give
I
your
love
wife a kiss and
love you,
congratulate
pal.
the boys for me, buddy. Love you too.
All right, I'll
Stay
see you
blacked.
soon.
You got
See
it.
you soon.
You
Bye.
got it. I hope you enjoyed that, cocksuckers. Let me tell you something about Alessandro. He's won a Screen Actors Award. He's been nominated for a fucking couple things. He's in the movie The Wizard of Lies. The fucking one with the he's got a movie with the kid from Social, the Facebook movie, Social.
Yeah.
He's got The Art of Discipline or something like that. What's the name of it? The Art of Self-Defense. That's a good little fucking movie he did that I caught a few weeks ago. He's got a couple great movies. Face Off. Watch Face Off. Alessandro's a fucking real pro, and I'm happy we got him. It's a Monday morning fucking podcast. Thank you for watching The Joint. I appreciate you motherfuckers. You know me, I'm everywhere. I'm like dog shit. Instagram, Twitter, Patreon. Follow me, and if not, that's it and that's that. Now for a word from my motherfucking sponsors. All right, you bad motherfuckers. I want to thank Alessandro again for coming on the show, but most importantly, I want to thank you guys for always having my back on a Monday morning. Don't forget, if you're looking for a PS5, they're hard to come by, but CBD Lion is making your dreams come true. They're having a fucking raffle over there at CBD Lion. You ready for this? For every ticket, for every $10 you spend, you get a ticket. You spend $50, you get 5 tickets, and that's more chances for you to win the PS5 over at cbdlion.com. It's you could enter for free also. You don't need to, no purchase necessary. So that's the kind of deal they're running over there right now for $420. But when it comes to CBD, I only trust the Lion. I've been working with them for 4 years on my own. And during this surgery, they came through for me with my own. I still put on pieces of the kinesiology tape. I still take the bat ball. You know, I still use the bat balls. In fact, I'm out of bat balls. I got to get some more bat ball. But anyway, it don't make the fucking point. CBD Lion works. At night when I get home, before I watch TV with the family, I ice my knee. I put the tins on there, and I put some CBD Lion lotion on there, 1,000 milligram. I feel tip-top motherfucking magoo. So go to CBD Lion right now. Read up on CBD and the benefits for you, whether it's CBD, CBN, CBY. You got to start by reading. Okay, go to CBD Lion right now. Register to win your free PS5. Get into the contest to win the PS5 right now. But besides that, if you're looking for CBD, this is the way to go. The liquor store guy ain't going to help you. The guy at the foot store ain't going to help you. Uncle Joey's going to help you. Just go to cbdlion.com right now and read. Read on the great selection of CBD products, whether it's the bat ball, kinesiology tape, the chocolate, or the tincture. Go to cbdlion.com right now, press in church, and get 20% off delivered to your house. The Joint is also brought to you by, on a beautiful Monday, Bluechew. Spring is here. Forget the fucking birds and the bees. It's time to go in deep, deep, deep. Get Bluechew and combat all forms of ED. Same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis at a fraction of the cost. Bluechew brings you the first chewable dick pill. No more fucking shit from the liquor store. No more buying pills at the tire center. Bluechew is an online prescription service. No visits to doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting online for the pharmacy. Let me tell you something. Maybe you're not suffering from erectile dysfunction like your Uncle Joey when you get old. You can sling dick with 3 hands, but why not go with 2 guns? Be prepared. You want them to call you back. BlueChew.com's got the answer. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, you talk to one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you receive the prescription online within days. It's that easy. It ships right to your door in a discreet package. The mailman don't even know dick. No, nobody knows dick. Just Blue Chew. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly. It's way cheaper than a pharmacy. So go to Blue Chew right now. Right now, they got a special deal for you. You know I always show up with something for you motherfuckers on a Monday. I'm not going to leave you out there, you know. It's either a PS5, something. Try Blue Chew for free. Joy, what are you talking about? It's Monday. Why are you playing tricks on me? Because go to Blue Chew for free right now by using promo code Joey at checkout. All you're going to do is pay $5 for the shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Joey to receive your first month free. And as always, I want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the joint. I want to thank Blue Chew. I want to thank CBD Lion. I want to thank Alessandro, but most importantly, I want to thank you fucking savages for always having my back on a Monday morning and supporting the fucking joint, okay? I love you, cocksuckers. Stay black. Have a great fucking day, and I'll see you Wednesday ready to go tip-top Magoo to stab a motherfucker in the neck. Don't be stabbing nobody right now. Only in L.A., they're not pressing charges, so it's not bad. But everywhere else, you got to be a Christian. I love you, cocksuckers. Stay black. Have a great week. And I'll see you guys Wednesday, ready to rock.